It's the first pumpkin spice of the season on the show, I think.
Wow, crazy.
Yeah, it's wild. It's been out for like 2 weeks now. This is the first time we're doing it on here.
Has it really only been 2 weeks?
I think it came out like on the 1st of September, something like that.
It was late this year. They were doing like the end of August for a while, which was obviously too much. Like,
I
it's
appreciate
hot out.
the laterness.
Yeah, I appreciate September being like the official start of fall. Honestly, Seattle, it was like September 1st, boom, leaves are dropping off of trees, crows are screaming.
Weird here.
It's so good.
It's like drastically just like it's been 80 and sunny. Now it's fucking like mid 60s and got a chill in the wind and it's overcast every day.
Yes, I'm here. Also, still impressed by how much light is in our apartment when it's cloudy, but we will see as it gets to like fucking
I
October.
feel like now that we only had 2 windows and now we have 5 different windows in our apartment. Like, it's gonna be a lot sunnier in here.
You know what would be so nice? Having a window in the bathroom. That's like the ultimate luxury.
Yeah, especially since our bathroom is like really small.
Yeah.
So it would be nice to have a window.
It was nice. Like, in my childhood home, we had a window in the shower.
Yeah.
And like when I was younger, it was just like, you know.
For clarity, it was a small window and it was like rippled, I guess, or whatever, so you can't really see through it.
It wasn't that rippled though.
But I'm like,
it was a little bit frosted.
Yeah, you can't
Slightly.
just see in and see people taking a shower.
I know, and like I used to make eye contact with my neighbor in his backyard across the balcony because it like faced our backyard. And like as I got older, I was just getting too tall for this shit. Like honestly, that was such a hazard. What was the purpose other than a nice breeze when you're in the shower? I like outdoor showers though. I'm that kind of bitch.
Yeah, I enjoy them too, and
except for when you find a spider in the outdoor shower.
Yeah, it would be extremely nice to have a window though, because we don't even have a fan in our bathroom.
Can you believe that we don't have a fan though?
Like, that's wild. Like, that's just asking for mold.
We literally shower with the door wide open every single time because of that.
Well, that and also the litter box is in the bathroom.
Yeah, so we can't really close the bathroom door, like, in general.
But, you know, so this is Coffee with Rachel. Like we said, we have pumpkin spice lattes.
I'm Rachel and you're
I'm pumpkin spice latte.
I'm pumpkin and you're spice. I don't know, man. I feel like shit today. She just got her period, so
I feel as though, I mean,
I'm
obviously it's gonna happen since like we're doing a show every week, but I always feel like you are in like the heat of your period every
throes
episode.
Of the crimson
like,
waves.
You always have like one day where you're like really fucked, and I feel like it's always podcast day. It's like,
to be fair, we changed the day of the week, so it was really our bad.
Yeah. If we were yesterday, it might not have been so bad.
So yesterday.
So I have a fact about coffee.
Thank God. That's what we all look forward to most in the show, I would say.
Yeah, I think that's why everybody listens, even though we didn't start that until later.
Yeah, true.
The French philosopher Voltaire was said to have drank 50 cups of coffee a day.
Wow. Same.
I would die.
Yeah, I actually would have the most elevated heart rate.
For as much as we talk about coffee, don't drink like the craziest amount.
The most I drank was when I was working at Starbucks, and I would have it like all day.
Just college in general was like when I had the most.
A dark time. We all know that.
We all know the terrible eating habits of college.
Oh, God. We were actually looking through. I was trying to find a Throwback Thursday pic the other day, which was honestly like the worst idea ever. Like, don't do that. And I found photos of us in our first apartment in college, and me and Chris always talk about how different our diet is now compared to like when we first started dating. And like our weekly meal was literally us like defrosting a full pound of ground beef. Like that was just every day.
It was either doing that and making like the pre-packaged taco seasoning packets and just making that with some
fucking iceberg lettuce. I can't remember the last time iceberg lettuce touched these lips.
And like those fucking hard shells.
Are you a soft or a hard?
I think now I'm leaning more towards the soft. Cause
I used to be all soft. Now I'm like, there's something about a hard shell until she breaks.
If you could have I like a hard shell, but wrapped in the cushy comfort of a soft shell.
So a crunch wrap.
Yes.
Okay.
Exactly. I was going to say something I totally forgot, but
either way, I found photos of us eating those tacos. That was the point of that tangent.
Yeah.
And Chris's beard was something to be marveled.
Oh my God, I can't believe that happened. But
your facial hair went through so many phases, and they were all on video. Like, I'm surprised you didn't get dragged more.
Yeah,
my
honestly,
eyebrows
guys,
were pretty distracting,
you guys were really nice to me.
No, you got your fair share, but it was the sperm brows that I was rocking for quite some time there, I think really stole this show.
My stark inability to speak was the
highlight.
Was the star that they couldn't even get to the beard.
Oh my god, I'll never forget like the first video we filmed together.
Yeah.
I could have seen you being one of the YouTube dudes that like is never on camera, you know? And people like forget that you even have a partner outside of
But then,
YouTube.
you know, I just had a secret lust for the limelight, you know?
Yeah, for the public speaking.
I wanted to steal your thunder.
You did, honestly. I would take it, please. You are the storm chaser of the family anyway.
Oh my god. So I think we should start off with, we talked about, I don't know if it was last episode or one of the previous episodes, if we could do the astrological
He's
signs.
choking out this right now.
The horoscopes, astrological signs as coffee or Rachel
Zodiac.
Zodiac. That's the word. Oh my god. Ted Cruz, Zodiac killer.
Which one of us is Ted Cruz? Did
one
everyone
watching
see
the
his
porn.
likes last night? Oh my god. I was thinking it was going to be something more exciting, but it was like the most vanilla-ass porn ever.
I mean, are we surprised?
Not at all. He's the one that like is anti-masturbation, right? He was like
Yeah.
anti-vibrator, which
And then
like,
his, like,
get on this level, bitch.
his
We haven't added this
roommate-
episode.
His roommate was like, nah, that's not true.
Yeah, his college roommate. Okay, so yeah, someone tweeted us.
They went through all of our fucking episodes.
Do you have it up? I have to find
Yeah, I
it.
do have it up, and they have the best title that they could find for each zodiac sign.
Yeah, so this is amazing, and it's also incredibly accurate and overall a delight to read.
Yeah, so we're going to start with Aries, which was episode 58, Pissed Off Cinnamon Bun.
Highly accurate. We've got Taurus, who is episode 94, Questionable Beef, or episode 169, Hella Thrash Nosh.
Gemini is episode 129, Little Jittery Fuckboys, or episode 179, What is the Tamagotchi's Algorithm?
Which, honestly, I can't believe that's a title that we wrote. Like, what the fuck? This is just calling back all the things I try to forget.
Yeah.
Cancer, episode 44, Soothing Sensations.
Leo is episode 52, A Shit That Stands Out.
I like that because Leos are very confident, you know what I mean?
Yeah.
That's very accurate. Virgo, which is so the most accurate. Episode 77, Chord Organization Makes Me Wet.
Oh my god,
That's
that
just
is
perfect.
too perfect. Libra is episode 86, Olympic Eyelash Curling.
Scorpio is episode 25, Vampires in a Speakeasy.
Sagittarius is episode 108, A Hoot and Holler Affair.
What even was that one? I don't know. Capricorn is Ep 130, I've hacked this marketing.
Aquarius is episode 67, An Invitation to the Aliens.
And Pisces, our Lord and Savior, episode 159, A Whisk That's Been Through It, which is what I said, but also episode 87, Collab with Christ. Overall, amazing. Thank you so much, Rachel, for writing this list.
Let us know if you vibe with those, if you feel like those really accentuate who you are.
Yeah, and honestly, if anybody else has some more suggestions, hit us up because I think it's great.
Yeah, I think that was really perfect.
So, Apple had their conference today, like their third one of the year. They do like 3 every year, right?
They do at least 2.
At least 2.
Wait, they do one for like fucking the Macs, like the actual hardware. They do the
iOS.
They do the developers conference, which is the iOS, and then they do this iPhone event.
Yeah.
So there is 3. Yeah.
So this one, I mean, it's not only iPhones. It was like
It's Apple Watch,
TV.
TV, and yeah.
So we're gonna talk a little bit about what was announced today.
Yeah.
So I don't have an Apple Watch or an Apple TV now, so I didn't really care about
want
those.
to get another Apple TV solely for AirPlay. Like that is
Yeah.
literally the only thing that I would want that for.
Yeah,
But they have like a 4K one, and that seems like kind of cool.
I know. We don't even have a 4K TV.
Yeah, I know. We need to get the fucking 4K TV before we could drop $1,000 on the new
Yeah,
fucking phone.
I want the 4K TV so that I can play fucking Viva Pinata in 4K. Like, would that even make anything look crisper if it was already shitty?
I mean, it would make it look a little bit better, but not really.
I want to play an emulation of Where in the World is Carmen Sandiego from Windows 98 on a 4K TV.
Yo.
And then I think the whole world will go inside out.
That would look really terrible, actually.
Yeah, I think it would be great. Gumshoe.
All
right,
that gumshoe would be so pixelated.
Yeah, like the fake. You guys know the game I'm talking about. That game taught me like geography, bitch. Mm-hmm. Okay, like I know everything now.
It was a fucking text adventure. Like
that was the most fun educational game that exists.
Shout out to anybody that's played text adventures on their fucking 98 computer. You know.
Shout out to the 98 computer.
Yeah.
What a grand time she was. What is it? 5 clicks to get to solitaire. Like all those, you had to open that like ladder of menus, the stairs of gray. Anyway,
so Apple decided that they're going to pull a Microsoft who went from Windows 7 to Windows 10, and Apple's doing Apple's doing iPhone 8 and also iPhone 10 at the same time.
Everyone's making the same joke about like, where's 9, 7, 8, 9? Like, that's what happened at 9.
Oh my god.
Or there was like another, I saw there's like a Twitter moment, and there's one tweet where it was like iPhone 9 right now, and it's the blinking guy. So anyway, iPhone 8 looks just like a couple more additions, you know, better
it really
processing,
does not
all
look
that
worth
bullshit.
it, TBH.
I don't care. Obviously, the 10 is where the nuance begins. She's $1,000, which it just it's cool, right? Okay, not the price. The price is not cool. The iPhone itself is cool. There's a lot of interesting things which we'll get into, and it does look cool. But I just think like $1,000 for something that you are gonna have to replace in 2 years. Ooh, no.
Also, considering that the phone carriers don't do that, like, you know, discounted rate, like you pay a monthly fee, but you're paying the entire price of the phone.
Yeah.
So
it used to be like $200. Wasn't that a time?
That was.
And I thought that was expensive.
Time. Yeah.
So now you're gonna have to be on a hella payment plan.
Yeah, I don't know how much that's gonna be.
Or are they really trying to have that last for longer than 2 years? But then there's all those nerds that get the new phone, which I can't do.
They don't want it to last longer than 2 years because they want you buying new phones. Next year will definitely be like the year where this is like the first launch of it. Next year when they hone into like all the new features, then it'll probably maybe be cheaper, but also like more refined.
And that's when our contract is even up, so we can't even like look
we're not getting any new phone or anything.
And it only comes in space gray and like silver, so I'm waiting for the rose gold in that version.
Yeah, which the iPhone 8, which is glass on both sides, which is interesting.
Everyone's making the same joke about like how they all broke it already.
Yeah.
I've never shattered an iPhone, so I'm not as worried, but it makes me think like, so they have the whole point of the glass, I'm assuming, is so that you can have the wireless charging thing where you just like put it down a little base and it just charges. So I want to know with a case how that works.
I don't think it's going to, because...
Or is there going to be like a little hole in the back of your case?
No, like it has to have contact, and like they usually bring that shit up. Like I know like when they're announcing like Apple Watches and they like have their fucking bands and stuff, like I feel like they talked about how the band is going to like let you do shit to it still. So they purposely didn't talk about cases, and they've talked about cases for phones before.
So I'm assuming that Apple's going to come out with their own cases, but they didn't even mention that. They mentioned all of the different charging mats.
I don't think it's going to be capable to like have a case on it for the wireless charging.
I'm not doing that.
Yeah.
And it sucks because I want the whole wireless charging thing. That's nice.
Glass on both sides and can't charge? Like, no.
Someone was like, glass on both sides and no iPhone jack? Like,
oh my god. So yeah, there was nothing really special else beside for the iPhone 8. Yeah. Like that was really it. But
they just added some camera features, which I'm always wet about the camera features.
And like the insides are better too.
Yeah, my insides are better too. But then the 10, it's basically like the whole front of the screen has no buttons, so it's like a full display. But the thing is, like, they still have to have like a camera and shit at the top. So there's kind of like this little like black notch thing at the top, which everyone's dragging. And like, I didn't think it would be that bad until I saw the way it would look when you're playing a video in landscape mode. It is like in the way. So
I think it's cool, like when you're using your phone regularly and like you have like the battery and like the Wi-Fi signal and your bars for your cell service up there at the top. Like I think that was cool. It's kind of more out of the way, so you have more screen space and stuff. But yeah,
I'll have to just see how it goes. I do watch a lot of video on my phone though.
Yeah, no, like if they just like had the video kind of like stop at where that notch is instead of filling up the entire screen, that would have fixed the problem.
But then that defeats the purpose of the
it's
whole
still
screen.
a big screen.
Yeah, it's a big screen. I'm mostly excited for the camera on that phone. Like, they're making that the front-facing camera, which, if you're an influencer, she's near and dear to your heart, bitch. Like, they're making that have all the cool portrait mode features that, like, the back camera. And I honestly never use the back camera unless I'm taking a photo, like, out and about of, like, a scene.
Yeah.
Not, like, I never take photos of myself with the back camera because my arms are not long enough.
I just think of that gif of the people at the party and they have the calculator.
They're like, what the fuck? And they're taking a photo and it's a calculator. Amazing.
That would be me every time.
I know, I can't do that. So there are camera features that I'm interested in. How do you feel about the facial recognition to be how you unlock your phone and goodbye to your thumbprint?
So I'm wondering if, like, they were talking about, like, Touch ID. Like, this was speculation beforehand of, like, Touch ID, but just on the screen, so you just press your thumb onto the screen.
Oh.
So there was, like, patents and stuff that they found and everything. So I thought that was going to be a thing. They didn't talk about that, so I don't know if, like, Touch ID is just gone.
Yeah.
But, like, I apparently to them it's less secure than your fucking face, but I would rather use Touch ID than my face.
I personally regard my fingerprint as more unique than my face, especially you. I mean, I can't tell you how many days out of a week that I get tweeted, I just saw Chris's doppelganger. So you're gonna have 100,000 people unlocking your phone. I get it. There were like 1 in a million, which
yeah.
I need to know like how they found that statistic personally.
I just feel like personally it's cool ideas. Like, these are really...
It's cool that technology exists, but I could see it being abused.
I don't
and
trust
I don't know
it.
If I trust it.
I don't trust it in this fucking society because
But then again, I do pay with my thumbprint.
I know.
Which is pretty important.
It's really bad too. I thought it was weird.
What's next? I have to deep throat my phone so that it can check my dental records to unlock.
Yeah, right?
I have to catch
you have
me
to, like,
swallowing my phone at checkout to pay with Apple Pay.
You have to rip out a hair so it can analyze your DNA. Like,
yeah, honestly,
that's what would happen. But
I don't want to be that person that's just like, oh, we're afraid of technology. But like,
it's a real fear.
The police system is flawed, and I could totally see them like partnering, bitch.
Especially with freaking Ajit Pai and control of the FCC, and he's like trying to make it so like the internet companies can sell all of your goddamn data and everything.
And we already had our conspiracy about Snapchat using our faces, the data mine or whatever the fuck.
So I'm just worried about that. But you mentioned paying, and it's really weird that like now you're gonna have to be like, let me open Apple Pay, look at my phone, and then set it down on the little thing to pay. When you can just like right now, you just like use your you tap it and you press your thumbprint.
I've never used Apple Pay at a store. I've just used it like on iTunes.
Yeah, like you just tap it to the little thing and then you like press your thumbprint to like confirm.
Oh.
And it does it like regular Touch ID, so it's not like you have to raise it and then put it back down and like try and get it to like see your fucking face.
I love Wall-E.
It's just gonna be really weird.
I am interested to see how it works in the dark though. Like, is any light going to come on? Like, is it going to gently put the flash from your phone on your face?
Or maybe like the screen's light will be enough to do it.
I guess. I don't know. Oh, it was interesting that they showed like how, they tested it with like different masks of like real people's faces.
From like Hollywood makeup people that make masks. Yeah.
So that you can't use like a photo of somebody to unlock a phone or a mask, or if you're changing your hair, if your beard grows out and stuff, like it shouldn't affect it. So I'm interested to see how well it all works and if that is all good,
Yeah, and
but,
since they're scanning your face, they also made a new thing called Animojis, which
easily the best part of the whole presentation.
We're here for like the fucking
the
colors and the Animojis.
It was a very PopCap moment.
Yeah,
you know what I mean?
Really.
Like, what's his face making clucking noises on stage was a very like, what was it, Yarny that came out? I can't remember which game it was. Either way, so now with the facial recognition software, you can send like, when you send like voice messages on your phone, now it's like you could choose an emoji. So say I choose like the dog emoji, it moves its mouth with the way that you're moving your face and shit. And it just looks creepy.
And it sends like this little animated video of this emoji talking to you.
So
the furries are gonna go wild for this shit.
The furries are soaked.
I mean, the fox was one of the first ones that's gonna be released. So
yeah, he like claimed it, and I was like, I see.
But he's a furry.
Yeah, confirmed. Yeah, I mean, I can't wait to fucking mess with that. Like, all of the features that they added to iMessage, like, a year ago or whatever, where now you can, like, write, and you can tap your thumb, and it gives you like a kiss print and all that bullshit. Like, me and Chris just like make fun of each other with those features all the time.
I never use it anywhere else. Like,
it's just you and Ashley and Bree, and we just send each other penises. It's so 8th grade.
Like,
why are we like this?
That one screen where it's like a black box and then you do the kiss or like the other things.
Or I'll take a photo of you from across the room and then I'll draw a dick on your face and then I'll send it to you.
It's just weird to use those things sometimes. Like, but I do use like
I know I'll be using this emoji bullshit.
When you can like send an emoji loudly and it like fucking slams into the screen, like I use that.
Oh, when Chris says something really like lame over text and I just haha it and like it's passive aggressive as fuck. Like, has anybody ever used the haha part of iMessage?
The reaction thing?
Without it being passive aggressive? Like, there's no way to use it. You're not genuinely laughing.
Absolutely done that.
I can't wait to make the crying emoji like even more vivid. Or the moon emoji.
Yo, they have to do the moon for that, like,
if they don't do the moon, or I already said the eggplant, what facial expressions can she hold?
Yo, that's real.
That's a really important question.
Now we can make our own emoji movie.
Someone's gonna create the emoji movie with the Animoji feature function.
Oh my god.
Look, there's a lot happening.
Other than that, it was just talking a lot about how Apple's taking over the world and they're like building new stores that are fucking like launch pads or some bullshit like that. I don't know what the fuck they're called.
It's not gonna make me go to a mall. I can tell you that right now.
No, definitely not.
Oh, and there was something that I thought of and I was like, oh, that's cool, but then also germs. And they'll have charging mats and stuff like in airports where you just like can lay your phone down.
Or like different restaurants, which I could totally see Starbucks doing.
Oh yeah. And like good airports, not like fucking Newark.
I can see SeaTac doing it, you know?
Yeah. But like then I think like phones are already covered in just a lot of things.
Yeah.
But just laying it in like an airport communal charging pad, like, I don't know, man. Just sounds dirty. Just make sure you bring a little Ziploc.
But especially if you can't have a case on it, then I think that's really...
Just bring yourself a nice little moist towelette.
Yes, moist towelettes. I love those.
With some rubbing alcohol and just go to town.
Oh my god. So, I don't know if there's really anything else to talk about with them.
I mean, we're not getting a phone this year, so it wasn't that exciting for us, but...
I'm just more excited for whatever the fuck comes out in the iOS update, which I already forget, but that's coming out...
Yeah.
It's coming out on Friday, I think.
Is it really Friday?
No, wait, no. I think the phone is Friday. iOS is next week.
Okay. I'm all kind of mixed up.
What else is new?
I know. This week we have a lot going on, so I'm just like all over the place.
Right now I'm like in just like... Not panic mode, but like...
Yes, panic mode.
Panic mode, yes, because I'm just trying to get like all this shit done before my mom comes in on Saturday.
Oh my god, when the Apple Watch was like, we can now just detect when you have an elevated heart rate, but you're not like physically moving, and I was like, okay.
So all the anxiety people out there like...
Like, it's literally just gonna be... Imagine me with an Apple Watch and it vibrating and being like, you're having a panic attack right now, bitch. I'm like, yeah, I know. I'm disassociating watching The Fosters again. What else is new?
It would be cool if it could, like, detect that and then, like, maybe open up, like, a calming app.
Ooh, like one of those meditation breathe-in
Headspace or something like that.
Well, I think they do have, like, the guided breathing meditation bullshit.
Built into Health or something like that.
Yeah, I don't have an Apple Watch, but I, like, every time I want one, I'm like, yes. But then I don't know. I can't
it's
commit to having
$300
something on my wrist all the time.
I'm still not, like,
I like
totally...
these wrists bare.
Yeah, I'm not into the aesthetics of it.
I know, if they came out with a round face, then I would get it.
And I
get that they have, like, a look on purpose, and there are very beautiful bands for it, but if I'm gonna wear it, it needs to be round.
It's wild
Just
that
like
they're
me.
gonna have they're gonna have wireless now in it, like to access to cellular towers.
Oh yeah, so you can make all your phone calls right on your fucking wrist.
So, you know, if you don't like having a camera and you don't think you need a big phone, you could literally just own an Apple Watch and have that be your phone.
Yeah. I think it's nice for, like, when you are out and about and you don't really need to have your whole phone with you and you're always that person that loses your phone, having it strapped onto your wrist could be useful.
How much do you think they're charging pads are going to cost, like
Expensive.
the wireless chargers, and also that's not going to come with the phone. It's going to be a regular fucking like lightning cable charger.
I don't even have an Apple Watch, but there's an Apple Watch charger that I've had my eye on.
Oh my god!
It's literally
that's
like,
why you want it for the fucking charger.
I know, because it's so pretty. It would sit on my night table. It's this big block of marble, and then it has like a gold like little peg that you hang your watch on, and it charges it somehow. I don't know, and that's
Technology.
like $100. So like, you know. How much is the Apple Watch? I have no idea.
The most expensive one was like $400.
I mean, if you're getting a phone with it now, maybe it's worth it. But I don't know.
That was it.
I
for
also
the
spend that
phone.
for the camera as well for the phone.
It was like $330 for the one without the like cellular in it.
Now, the thing that I don't care that they brought up is like how you can have, what is it, like 40 million songs on your wrist is like their thing.
Yeah.
But like, I want to hear the speaker on it, and two, I don't know. I'm not going to be like running around Seattle.
I don't think it has a speaker to it. I think it's just
goes
like
with your earpod bullshit.
Yeah, or whatever the fuck you have.
What is it? They didn't even talk about the earpod.
Everybody was saying they're gonna do like a second round of those, but they didn't.
Yeah, I don't know. Has anybody used them? The only time I've ever seen them out and about was when you saw them, like someone had lost them in the lobby of our building. They were just on the floor.
I've seen a couple people at work wearing them.
Well, you work at Amazon. That just like is the place for that kind of bullshit.
Yeah, I fucking get you.
Look, Squeezy has a pair, and you know he really likes them.
Oh yeah, he's got.
Squeezy would have a pair.
He would absolutely have a pair.
He would probably already pre-ordered the iPhone 10. Like, doesn't Squeezy look like he would have an iPhone 10?
He's the one that goes for the new phone every year.
Yeah, he is that bitch.
So if you have an extra $2,000 to spare, you can get a new TV thing and a phone and an Apple Watch.
No, a little bit more than 2,000 probably.
Yeah. Well, you know.
That's the way the cookie crumbles.
That's pocket change.
Yeah. All right. So we have a quiz that was sent to us that is very relevant to this show and also our interests, and it's basically finding out which coffee chain we are.
Yeah, we talk about chains, we talk about coffee, we talk about coffee chains. It's perfect.
It's just right on brand. So I'm clicking on this right now. I love to live speak what I'm doing with my phone, so it's loading. I'm just kidding. All right, so this is from our Lord and Savior BuzzFeed. And this quiz will officially determine which coffee house chain you are. Are you Starbucks, Tim Hortons, Dunkin'? 3 question marks. Got very hysterical at the end there.
What do you do first when you wake up? Take a shower, scroll through social media, make coffee, watch morning TV, practice yoga, eat breakfast.
I'm gonna say make coffee.
Yeah.
It's like technically scroll through social media, but sometimes I don't. Most of the time I just like hit coffee and then I scroll while it's brewing, you know?
Did you ever watch TV in the morning when you woke up?
Yes, I watched Hammy Time.
Oh, yeah.
The live action hamsters.
Like, besides being like a little kid, like, I never like
before
watched
school? No, bitch, I had to put on 18 layers of makeup.
Yeah, I never watched like the news or anything like that. And then,
I did watch that though. Good Morning America.
Yeah, I never like got into any of those things. I never watched Good Morning America.
I never got into Good Morning America.
Yeah.
Once I got to season 4, it got a little too much.
Yeah. Oh, God, I can't keep up.
How do you take your coffee? Black like my soul, milk and sugar, just milk, cream and sugar, just cream, just sugar.
Oh my God.
Just cream.
Please fucking calm down.
I know. There's a lot happening.
It's gonna be just cream. I'm gonna try and pick different things, but
we do have similar vibes when it comes to coffee, as we discussed.
Which specialty coffee drink would you like? Americano, cappuccino, macchiato, cortado, mocha, or just drip coffee for me? A plain black coffee.
Yeah, nothing fancy. What's a grind?
They don't have latte in here.
Out of all these, like, I would love a drip coffee, but if I'm going for specialty, like they just said fucking specialty, I'm going for cappuccino.
I'm gonna go for a macchiato.
Choose a pastry to pair with your drink. And they don't have descriptions here.
Why the fuck not?
Cinnamon bun, looks like a muffin, coffee cake, a donut, a scone, or a croissant.
Oh,
hey,
man.
I could have dropped my croissant. Wow.
There's a lot of options, and this is the most difficult question of all of them. I had the best fucking cinnamon bun the other day.
Where?
It was at when we went into...
Oh, the vegans fucking... Yeah.
Yeah, into Fremont, and they had this vegan cinnamon bun. And
Was it Flying Apron? Is that what it's called?
Yeah, Flying Apron. And they have vegan cream cheese spread, and it was so good. It's probably filled with sugar, but damn, it was delicious.
I don't know what they did to that, but it was the best cream cheese frosting I've ever had. And it's not even real cream cheese.
I'm going to go with the donut.
This is difficult because, like, I love a nice moist muffin. I love a buttery ass croissant, but a scone, like, I know she's dry, but there's just something about eating a blueberry scone or a raspberry scone.
No, you should pick scone because that's your favorite.
And I'm dry.
Yeah. Which mug speaks to you? They got one that says, but first coffee.
I'm screaming.
One that's shaped like a donut.
That's kind of cute. It has, like, a hole in the middle and everything.
One with a corgi on it. I don't work here. Como se llama?
I am upset.
Or just a plain black mug.
I'm gonna go for just the plain black mug. It's also from West Elm.
Oh my god.
I bet it's like $60.
Shit. I'm gonna go for the corgi.
Which highly caffeinated city would you like to live in? Seattle, wow, San Francisco, Toronto, New York, Boston, or London? I'm gonna pick Seattle. I love it. I'm not leaving.
Yeah, same.
What do you like to do at a coffee house? What constitutes a coffee shop versus a coffee house? Does a coffee house have a book selection?
A coffee house is
a bathroom key that has
Garden.
A spoon on the end and it's really extra and it makes you feel embarrassed?
Yes.
Don't you get upset when you have to use a bathroom and it gives you like a really like ornate key that you feel very...
And then, like, you maybe sometimes lock it in the bathroom. You have to be like, I locked your key in the bathroom.
Oh, I never put myself in that stressful situation.
Okay, so it's a chill with friends journal. Surf the interwebs with a Z with all that sweet, sweet Wi-Fi.
Who wrote this?
Go on a date. Read. Just grab my coffee and go.
I'm a usual just grab my coffee and go. But if I'm trying to go there and I want to do something, I would read.
Yeah. I'll pick read.
Finally, which fictional coffee spot would you be a regular at?
Fuck.
Central Perk, Cafe Nerosa, which I think that's Frasier.
Like, yeah, it's Frasier.
Rear Window Brew, don't know her. Luke's Diner, Monk's Cafe.
Monk's Cafe.
Monks.
Or the Digital Bean.
The Digital Bean. Oh, fuck. Okay, well, obviously Luke's Diner, sorry.
Yeah, obviously Luke's Diner.
Are you kidding me?
We both got McCafe.
I am hurt, but also I understand.
Listen, McCafe is actually decent coffee.
I know.
We've had it on the show before, and
your
it's pretty
friends
good.
would most likely describe you as loyal or reliable. You're always there in a pinch. You come to the rescue when they get too drunk and are there when they need to have a heart-to-heart with someone over burgers and fries. Everyone knows they can count on you. I hope.
I guess.
I don't know. I wouldn't necessarily describe myself as that. But, you know.
I just got a giant clump of the spice in my
pumpkin spice.
And it's, wow, doing things to my throat.
I couldn't find my coffee, and then I found it.
It was right in front of you.
Yeah, that seems to happen often. So, speaking of this week, we've got a lot of things going on. And so to make ourselves feel better about how anxious we were, because like low-key we're both anxious for Chris's mom to visit because it's the first parent visiting us.
And it's just been a while, and also my grandmother's coming too, and I haven't seen her in even longer than my mom. Yeah, so it's gonna be interesting. Yeah.
And I would say mostly nervous about food. Just because we eat vegan and, you know.
My family's from, like, the heart of Pennsylvania farmland where it's literally that picture of the pennies with milk in a mason jar. Like, literally, that is where I'm from.
We're talking horse and buggy parking lots. Okay.
Yeah, so it's going to be really interesting to be like, hey, let's go to this all-vegan diner, try this vegan cheese. Like,
I know. Well, they said that they wanted to try new things while they were here, so we're excited to do that.
So we're going to fucking take them to some new things.
Not everything is going to be super wild, but, you know.
Yeah, no sushi happening because that was the one restriction.
Yeah, no raw fish, and I was like, well, okay.
That's fine.
That's fine with us. But then on Friday, like, randomly Chris got an email from Ticketmaster about Fleet Fox tickets.
Which Ticketmaster, absolute horrible garbage.
I fucking hate using that website.
I hate Ticketmaster with a passion.
And like I knew that Fleet Foxes were coming this weekend, but I was like, well, there's no way we're gonna be able to go.
We tried to get tickets when they first announced it and that it was going on sale because you had a friend that had just went and saw them.
Oh yeah.
And they said it was amazing, and I wouldn't doubt anything from Fleet Foxes. Their music is really good, and their new album.
I actually really like their new album.
It sounds
so if they only play their new shit, I won't be upset. So
yeah, so like we tried to get tickets, but of course Ticketmaster sells out instantly because there's fucking bots galore on that goddamn website. I'm so sad that Cursed Child is on Ticketmaster.
Of course it is. The Cursed Child is actually Ticketmaster. It's a cursed website. But basically, we got tickets, so we're going Friday, and I'm excited. So it's something like more of a chill thing that we can look forward to this week. Yeah. Not that we're not looking forward to. We're just stressed. It's stressful.
Yeah, it's nerve-wracking.
I gotta clean my bathroom.
Yeah.
That's basically all.
Thankfully, though, I will have next week off of work, which is nice.
Yeah.
Yeah, it's been busy.
Yeah. And honestly, I'm a mess.
Yeah.
We didn't know what to talk about in this episode because honestly, we just have been I would say not necessarily stressful the last couple weeks, but we just have been not doing great just because we were, nervously anticipating the family visiting.
Nervously anticipating this. We've also been busy, and so it's just not with fun shit to talk about. So just regular life shit. So yeah. It's been an interesting couple of weeks.
It's been I can't stop myself.
Please get out of here.
I will. But I've had a lot of people asking me for an update on my situation with
which one?
Yeah. How long do you have? How long is the show? In regards to my family.
My family.
So we're gonna do that today.
Oh man,
that's what we're gonna talk about.
That's what we're gonna leave you guys with until we come back. Because we're not having an episode next week, so this is what we're gonna leave you guys with.
Oh, next week's episode, the week after. The next time we upload, it'll be fun. But anyway, so let's give a little background here. If you haven't been listening to this podcast for a million years, then you might not know that I'm the estranged weed gay cousin of my family, the black sheep or whatever. And honestly, it's it's interesting. It's a journey, and oh god, I don't even know where to begin with this. But basically, there weren't that many updates lately. We just haven't talked in forever. And, it all stemmed after I came out as bi. We all know this. But,
yes. Although nobody wants to admit that, but it is.
Oh, yeah. Now it's, oh, God, don't even get me started. And, they were abusive. So, it's a mixed bag.
It's a hodgepodge.
It's a hodgepodge. So, I don't know. I've been into this weird space lately with therapy and everything because I'm kind of past the initial shock of being disowned, and then also the anger phase because right after it was just wow, I can't believe. Well, I could believe it, but it's just wow, it was heavy to believe that they would cut me off after finding out I was bi, and it took me 20 fucking years to even be okay calling myself bi. So it was a lot, and then I was just pissed, because I was just they're homophobic, Trump-supporting deplorables or whatever, deplorable.
Yeah,
They imploded. And I was fuck them, whatever, bitch, it's fine, you're just sipping your milk,
you're missing out
pennies,
on this,
and you're just eating my ass, So, I don't know. I was feeling a little bit more I don't know. Spicy. Pumpkin spicy. And I would say in the last, little bit, we've moved on to the next phase. That's a good
unit of time.
See, that's the thing with depression. You don't know. How long has it been?
A little bit, a little while.
What day of the week is it? What time is it? When is my last beverage entered a body? That is mine. Now I've moved on from the anger phase, though there's still a decent amount of anger there, of course, because I feel they still... Well, we won't get into that. But now we're on the grieving portion of this train of life
journey,
and it's hard. It really is. And I didn't, I've made a lot of improvements in therapy in regards to the way that I handle my anxiety in regards to my PTSD, managing my PTSD triggers, I, get a lot more work done. I'm a lot more social. My depression has definitely lifted a lot. Like, it's still there, but I'm not actively wanting or trying to die, and like there's been a lot of things that have improved. And so sometimes you're like, okay, so obviously it's like all working, cool. Like, when am I going to be like able to be just like completely done with all this bullshit, completely done being upset and triggered every 10 minutes over something else, and then, when am I going to be able to, like, stop being in therapy and all this stuff? And, like, you think, like, everything's going great because you're in the, like, angry phase where the anger is almost making you so motivated and, like, almost a little manic. There was a point there over the summer where I was definitely feeling like I had been at the top of my mental health, like, in a while. I was, like, so productive, so just bubbly and energized, and like, I don't know, you were there.
Yeah.
I was there too, but you were
there. Yeah.
And I was just, I don't know. And now I've kind of hit like a plateau of that, and now I'm on like the, whatever the opposite of a plateau is, when she's going down.
Downhill?
Bitch. Yeah.
I wouldn't say a downhill, but like...
I would say a downhill.
Okay, yeah.
I mean, fuck. Maybe not as bad as it's been before, but that's the thing about dealing with mental health stuff. It's just like, you might think you're getting somewhere really good, just never, like, totally bank on that, because then something happens or nothing even happens and you just take a dive. And that's just the cycle. And, like, the most important thing that I can say, having lived this experience now for so many years, is that even when you do take that dip, you can't beat yourself up too much, because it's just the cycle. It's just temporary. All of your feelings are temporary. All of your situations are temporary. So you will get that spike again, but it's just, frankly, a pain in the ass. You know, it really is. And
the goal is to have more
spikes.
Upward spikes, as you go on.
So I don't know. Maybe it's my cramps right now really just like easing me in to more of a downward. I'm just kidding.
Spikes in your cramps.
Honestly, right now my uterus is spiky as fuck. Like, calm down, bitch. So I don't know. It's hard sometimes because like there's obviously things I miss about having a family, and like when you are abused, you really clutch to things that were good, because when if you had like an upbringing like mine, there weren't that many happy moments or like peaceful moments. Honestly, it's the peaceful moments that I remember, like, me experiencing any semblance of peace as a young child, or like
as a young rube.
Yeah, as a young bean, make me so emotional because, oh man, does she hold on to those. And that's why a lot of my habits that give me a lot of peace are like the same from when I was a kid, because I just really learned that was like a tactic, and it was like something to hold on to because there weren't always those moments. And like, I don't know. So it's hard for me sometimes now to like view my family as like always villains, because like I know that's how you view them, and it's honestly how the world would view them if they knew everything that went on.
Yeah.
But when you're the person that was abused, it's like it's so muddled, especially when there is that power dynamic where it is your parents.
Yeah.
So like you're meant to think that they're, trying to keep you safe and looking out for you, and like even if they are insulting you, maybe they do mean to protect you in some way or whatever. So you buy it, and it's a mess. I'll tell you right now.
It's hard to disassociate those from each other. Like, when you're in the situation, it's always going to be easier for somebody in the outside of the situation to just be like, they're clearly horrible.
Yeah.
They did all of this shit to you. And yes, I hate them so much for everything that they have caused you and all the pain that they caused you. And, like, I can understand where you come from when you say that you have these happy memories, that you have these, like, peaceful times, and that you have good experiences. I don't expect that every waking moment of your existence while you were in that household was a terrible experience. I know there's going to be good times, and it's natural to hold on to those, especially when they were fewer and far between.
It's like for me, I have to grieve, and this is what I talk about in therapy all the time. I have to grieve the fantasy of the family that I always expected or felt robbed of or neglected of or whatever.
Yeah, I get you.
And so that's kind of difficult because like when you know, when I see, like, Chris's family visiting, for example, like, honestly, yeah, it's been 3 years since we lived here, so it's about fucking time, and, like, maybe I would have even felt more weird about it if they had been visiting, like, normal families, where it's, like, every year.
Yeah.
It's a weird situation anyway, but, like, it's just, I just feel... So we think about it, and this is going to sound really fucked up, so this is why we wanted to talk about it, because, like, we have a lot of feelings about a lot of things.
There's a lot of feelings, and we talk about them a lot.
So, like, while my family was abusive and horrible and very stressful to be around, they also got to know us very well, which was also part of the abuse. But
Yeah, it's a whole tactic. It's all really weirdly connected.
Yeah.
Like, yeah.
But, like, for example, Chris's family doesn't know shit about me. Like, we've been dating for 7 years. And my family knew, like, all the inner workings of Chris, down to, like, his favorite foods, the
like,
coffee
I
he
would
get.
come over, and there would already be my favorite Starbucks drink already there.
And, like, all
my
the
favorite
breakfast cereal, yeah.
Yeah.
And it's like, that's because...
And it's just, that sounds stupid, but
it's stupid.
It's little things like that. Like, that's just like a small physical example of something. Like,
But they also knew, like, all of the things that were going on in your life, like all the drama you were dealing with school and the people that you knew or whatever. It's just like
jobs and work.
They got to know you really
yeah.
well. Now they also use that as a vehicle to abuse you. So, like, that was not the best.
Information is a weapon.
Yeah, that's true. That's exactly how it went. But it's just like sometimes I think about it, and in my fantasy, it's like in an ideal world where I came out and everything was cool and they never were abusive and they were only their best parts. If they visited Seattle, we would not be as anxious. We would be like really like, wow, this is gonna be fun, because we would know how to entertain them. We would know how, like, they would be fun. And it sounds so weird, and that's where I have to deal with it.
It sounds weird to say, but like that, like in the time that I knew them, there were like some things that were nice like that. Like, you know, the way they treated me, which I know was like a ruse in itself, but like, yeah.
God. And then they used the treatment of you well as a way to also hurt me, because they would be like, they would treat Chris really well, and then they would like get me alone and they'd be like, if you ever ruin your relationship with Chris, we will never speak to you again. Like, they would like try to like, I don't know, like instill fear in me over like the smallest things.
Yeah.
And including Chris. Not that he's a small thing, but like things where it's like
doubt in your mind that like it's a possibility that you could.
Yeah,
lose.
that I would lose him and that it would be all my fault, and that it would also be like disgusting and fucked up. Like, of me.
Joke's on you all, we're all fucking here.
I know. Now they hate you because of that one voicemail you left them.
Oh God, harboring that for 7 years.
Oh yeah, honey, you'll never hear the end of that.
I'll never hear the end of that.
But, I don't know, like, as far as, like, recent developments, I found out, like, the problem that I have still is, like, sometimes I will call my dad, and it's just a weird situation. It's because
It's not something that, like, you know, obviously somebody in my situation, it's not something you'd be like, well, just don't call them. Like, I can't sit here.
Oh, girl, I blocked myself, and then I'll just, like, unblock.
Like, it's almost not healthy to be like that. You have to sometimes, like, in the process of grieving and moving past this, like, go through those motions, whether it is like you calling in every once in a while I personally think that it's probably going to cause you more harm.
Oh, hell yeah, honey.
But
I know it too. Like, sometimes I self-sabotage, which I talk about all the time in therapy.
Like, trying to be restrictive in any way, like, you know, like putting a password, I don't know how you could do it, but like putting a password protection on a fucking phone number to like that you can't call it or something. I don't know how that works.
I don't think you can do that.
I don't think that's something that can happen. But
and like, I don't know. So I already feel enough shame doing it. Like, usually when I do it, and I usually tell you anyway after I've called one of them, but I automatically delete whatever text or phone call I've made.
Yeah.
And it's like a shameful thing, because I know I'm just like feeding into it. And like, I will do it when I'm in the best moment. Like, when we moved into our new apartment, I like felt this like urge to like tell them so that they could know that I was like doing well, and that they could know that like when I started the Etsy shop, or like just anything where I'm doing really well, like I want to tell them, because like you have this like innate yearn to tell your family like things that you're proud of,
yeah.
like duh, and you expect like some, you know,
gratification.
Yeah, something like And I also do that because, I don't know, apparently, like, it's just part of my cycle now where it's like I do that on purpose because I expect them to destroy the things that I am excited about.
Yeah.
And so, like, I'm honestly, like, calling them, waiting for that, like, response so that I can do that just because that's what I'm used to. So I have to break that cycle. Yeah, I'm trying to break that, basically. But I did it the other day, and I talked to my dad. He's the only one that answers now. And it's, like, a really weird situation, like... It's fucked up because, like, I haven't talked to my sister in 3 years, right? And we never got along, and part of the abuse was, like, putting me and my sister, like, butting heads on purpose. Like, my family would like to antagonize us so that we would fight, and that's like a big abuse tactic, is to keep the siblings from getting along because then they can gang up on the parents. And that's why our relationship is shit. And, like... Maybe it would still be shit regardless of that, but that's definitely like a main catalyst.
Layer, yeah.
And so I haven't talked to her in 3 years because when I came out, she was the most
vocally
homophobic.
Yeah.
Like, just not, and she's always been extremely homophobic, which is why I didn't want to come out to her. And she was the last one that I came out to, and I was just not into it. And she said some really disgusting shit to me, and I have not spoken to her since then. And it's like my family has this like deluded sense of like I need to make amends with her and I need to like fix our relationship
because the relationship is your fault that it's broken.
Well, yeah, because I'm the scapegoat, so it's fine, you know. So like I'm used to feeling all this guilt and shame and blame because that's how I was raised. I was like that kid that was just like getting all of that all the time. And so like that's why I like harbor that in my personal like outside of them, and it's like it's something that's been really dogging on my confidence, and that's something that I'm working on. I feel like I'm getting somewhere with, you know.
You're definitely making progress.
But like it just comes back every once in a while because like I'll get on the phone with my dad and it's like I don't want to be argumentative because I know it gets nowhere with them because then it becomes a screaming match and then it's just nothing happens. And
the past couple of times you've been very
calm.
Cordial.
Yeah, and I think honestly that's mostly from therapy. Like,
and
thank
like
God.
you have been like whenever you get on these phone calls, you've been good at, you know, not just being tame and like going along with their flow of the conversation. Like you bring up the things that you want to talk about, but not in a like
in argumentative way.
Yeah, combative way.
Because like I wanted, like at the end of the day, all right, it's just it's all fucked and like you can judge, but whatever. It's just like this is the situation. Like he was the physically abusive one in the family, but he was also the one that wasn't as emotionally abusive. And for some reason, I still miss a lot of qualities in him, and I miss talking to him. So I will call, and I know he's the only one that answers. And sorry if I get emotional talking about this. I am also on my period, so this is probably like the worst time talking about this.
This is a really interesting time.
But it's just like, we'll talk about nice things, like we were talking about the eclipse, and it just made me feel so like, oh wow, like this is the stuff I miss. And then we did, you know, at the very end of the phone call, I was like, all right, well, is mom home? You know, can I talk to her? I can't tell you the last time I talked to my mother, who I still harbor a lot of animosity towards because of all of this situation, because she was the main, you know, contributor to the abuse. And so I don't even know why I want to talk to her, but I think I just want her to like hear me for once. That's the main thing. And, you know, he's just like, I'll ask her. And so he asks her to get on the phone. She, of course, says no. And he tells me, he's like, because he doesn't answer the phone all the time when I call. It's like very weird, specific times. And I know it's because he doesn't answer the phone around her because I know she doesn't approve of him talking to me. She's trying to keep everyone away from me, which is like, that's her thing that she does.
MO.
That's the thing. So, you know, he tells me, he's like, yeah, I don't really try to talk to you around her, and she just found out that I was on the phone with you, and now she's not going to be talking to me. And like here I am being like the fucking like wet blanket fucking submissive piece of shit that I am, and I'm just like, you know, if you want me to like stop calling, like I can do that because like I don't want to like cause fights with you guys. I'm like, why am I doing this? Like, why do I automatically try to make everybody feel good? Because I'm just like trying to, you know, ease tension everywhere I go, even when it's not deserved. Like, I think that's fucked. Like, they don't even know where I live. Like, they should be aware of how I am. They should be concerned for my health and well-being. It makes me feel useless and worthless. So, you know, he's like, you can still call, just like, know that I'm not going to always answer when she's around. I'm like, okay, so that changes literally nothing. So that's good. And then at that point, I'm like, is there a reason why she's not talking to me now? Is it still just because I haven't come out? And now it's like, it's on me. It's my duty because I haven't talked to my sister in 3 years. And I'm like, the last thing she called me was an attention-seeking whore. How on earth is it my responsibility to kiss her ass? Like, I just need to know. I need someone with, like, a sense of, like, not being completely illogical and delusion to tell them, yo... That doesn't make any sense.
You could have every person on this fucking planet tell them that, and they still would be like, "Nah, you gotta fucking do it."
No,
like,
you dated that one guy who dated men after you. Like, just like there's literally everything. They'll just be like, that one time that you spilled pizza. I don't know.
Spilling pizza.
No. It's a mess. It's the most frustrating situation ever because they're very, what my therapist says is that they're in, denial, perpetually in a state of denial, psychologically denial, whatever. Either way, it's a mess and it's very frustrating because, like, I'm learning so much about my upbringing through therapy and I'm making a lot of connections and I'm understanding myself so much and I just wish everybody was able to take the time to become this self-aware because, like, I understand that there are so many mistakes that I've made. I understand that I am a definite flawed human being like everyone out there, but I know what I've done. I know why I've done it. I know all of my motives. I know my triggers, and I know how to fucking keep going and change myself and evolve and become a better person. And I wish everybody could fucking do that. And I don't think you even need to have a mental health disorder to be not lazy and not change ever, because that's the problem with my family. Like, they've always stayed exactly the same. They've never tried to evolve, learn, or grow. And that's the one thing that I did. I don't know how I ever had, like, a thirst for, like, knowledge, education, having goals. Like, I don't know where that came from because I was held back in, like, every aspect. So, like,
I'm wondering if that's almost a product of the abuse, is that you were craving what you were not having, which is, like, the education and the growth and the escapes into your books and these different worlds.
And they tried to, like, not let me go to college and all this shit. And it was, like, the only reason I really do to this day believe that the only reason why they let me go to college was because it, like, socially looked good. You know what I mean? Like, it looked normal, I put in quotes, because the whole point was, like, they had a mask on, and they had to have everybody thinking that all this dark shit wasn't going on at home. You know, that's the whole point. So, I don't know. It's just a weird situation. So I'm like, I say to myself, I'm like, okay, this is the last straw. Like, I'm not going to fucking talk to them again. They're delusional. They're never going to hear me. You know, if they honestly think that I need to come back and apologize for being fucking bisexual and all this other bullshit, then they're obviously never going to get that. Like, and I'm never going to get acknowledgement for the abuse that I endured. So where does that leave me, bitch?
It's at an impasse now.
Who knows? I don't know. I in my brain, I'm like, I don't want to call them. I don't want to talk to them for a really long time now. And the only reason why I crawl back, besides, like, the whole self-sabotaging bullshit, is also because, like, it's like I also have this big, deep paranoia that they're going to keep another death in the family from me, like they did with my Zeta, and then I'm not going to know when something really important happens, and then I'm going to get robbed the chance of grieving or whatever I need. And just, like, also, I don't know, it's just a mess. These sirens are definitely adding a layer of tension to my mood. I don't know, man. I just feel like it's just fucked overall, and I wish I could be one of those people that, like, I read a lot of subreddits about this, and that's how I've tried to cope, because I don't know any other friends of mine that have dealt with this, which honestly, thank God, because it's not fun. But
you don't want other people to be going through this, but...
And I know I've gotten emails from you guys, and a lot of you guys still live at home because, like, it's very difficult to get out of there. Like, it is so hard, and I literally wouldn't have been able to do it without YouTube and Chris, so thank God for both of those two things. And I know I drag YouTube all the time, but let's be fucking honest, it fucking helped me get out of an abusive home, so it fucking happened.
Yeah.
But, like, I wish I could be one of those people that can go no contact, and I don't know how to do it, and I guess I'm just, like, not ready yet or whatever, but I try. I've had no problem not contacting my sister in 3 years, but
I think that at some point
she'll get there.
You'll get there, you're just not there yet. And I think about it in, like, the larger picture, in that you have been in this current situation for, like, 2.5 to 3 years.
It'll be 3 years since I came out in January.
Yeah, so that...
Which, like, woo-woo!
Yeah, that's fucking wild. But
I've never been more and that's the thing too, like now my sexuality is like I don't ever feel insecure or shameful or weird about it at all until I talk to them. And I'm like, what the fuck, man? Like, I was on the phone with him and we were talking about movies that we had seen recently, and he mentioned Mila Kunis, and it took me all of my fucking strength to not drop my typical reaction of Mila Kunis's name. Like, I always just get so gay at that point. And so I was like, and then I felt weird about it. I was like, wow, I just edited myself. I haven't done that in fucking years.
Mm-hmm.
And also, I wonder if he heard that, or if every time we talk about women, he's gonna feel weird. Like, the fact that I'm having these thoughts, I'm like, in 2017 in front of my salad, what? No. I know I need to go no contact. I know everybody that's listening, like, that hasn't been in this situation would do that.
It sounds a lot easier than it is.
It's hard. It's hard because then there's like the guilt that, like, if something does happen, even though they don't care about my well-being, I could fucking be in a ditch tomorrow and they wouldn't know. Like, they literally don't even know where I live, which is very not good for the mental health, I must say. But that I know that I would feel guilt somehow if, like, something happened over there, and then it was because I had them blocked that I didn't find out, and they would definitely use it as a vehicle to abuse me further. So it's a mess. I don't know. If anybody has been through this and is older than me and wiser, please hit a bitch up.
Yeah, definitely. I think that, like I was going to say, it's only going to be like 2.5 to 3 years.
It's
and
fresh.
That's still not that much time. You've made a lot of progress in that time, but
and like think about how many years I was there.
Yeah,
so it's
exactly.
Like
you were there. Like when I think about, like, us only being in Seattle for a little over 3 years, like a lot has happened in that time, but in the grand picture of, like, our lives, it's a small chunk of it. And I think that you got lots more time and that you will eventually get to that point where you're no contact.
I just want to get to a point where I'm no contact and I don't jump every time I see someone that looks remotely like them, or I hear a loud noise, or I smell cigarettes. Because cigarettes are everywhere and it's really hard.
Yeah.
It's really difficult. Oh, man. But I don't know. I like getting candid about this shit because, like, it does feel kind of weird sometimes to talk about, like, the inner workings, because I always get fear in my heart that they're going to hear it and then they're going to do something worse. But I'm like, at this point, I'm so far away and they can't do any physical harm to me, and, financially and all that, like, we're all separate. So, I don't know. It's still scary though, but I like to be candid about it because it took me a really long time to even, like, admit so many of this. Like, just so many things, like my sexuality. I couldn't even, like, call it abuse because even though I threatened to call the cops and I would tell, like, teachers and parents and, like, neighbors, like, just they made it seem like I couldn't even say those words because obviously you were, in danger. And now it's like I still, like, sometimes I, like, choke on the word because I'm just like, it still feels so weird to say it. But I'm just living my truth and I'm telling my story. And if you're in a situation like that, I really urge you to talk to an adult, especially if you're younger, because I started talking to teachers about this shit, like, when I was, like, in middle school. And so I would recommend talking to a teacher. And if you're a little bit older, if you can't afford to see a therapist, hell yeah. There's also support groups. There's also online support groups. Finding other, like, people on the internet that have dealt with your situation. Because I've made friends through having, I said that I don't have any friends, like, here in Seattle. But, like, I do have a lot of internet friends that we talk about similar situations like this. And it's very helpful to have someone on your side that has also been in your shoes.
Yeah, it's definitely helpful to, like, I know that, like, you can talk to me about things and it can be helpful, but it's also a lot more helpful for somebody that's been in the situation. And I totally get that. I'm not, like, docking myself or anything like that. But
like, at the end of the day, it was incredibly helpful while it was sad that you witnessed the physical abuse. It was the most validating experience I've ever experienced because nobody believed me before that.
Yeah.
Because they were really good at hiding it. And to have somebody, like, see it happen, even therapists, I was always, like, just under this suspicion that like they wouldn't believe it, you know. And my therapist will ask me, she's like, do you still think like I don't believe you? And I'm just like, that's just an issue I have, like, you know, we know. It's just like, it is a validating experience. But
your rapport with your fucking therapist is great.
I sometimes wish you could be a fly on the wall, because like I don't, on this podcast, like I know I'm like cracking jokes all the time. In therapy, I really try to not be deflecting into comedy, because that's where I go a lot. But every once in a while, a joke will slip out, and it's the most satisfying thing ever to make her laugh. Like, it's so funny. It's like those guards that stand in front of like the royal palace, and like you make them smile a little bit. Like, that's her. It's so funny. Or when I say something and she has to like repeat what I said, but I said like fuck in there, you know what I mean? I'm just like, I just feel so fucking, and she's like fucking. You know, it's so weird. Anyway, I don't know, man. That was probably really heavy for this episode, but that's where I'm at. I don't know.
I think that was probably very helpful for a lot of people.
I hope so.
And probably helpful for yourself too.
I'm just trying to, it makes me feel like, ooh, she got that off her chest. But also, it's like, okay, right now I might not be feeling that great, but like it's not always bleak. You can look at how much you can do in 3 years, you know?
Yeah.
I don't know. We'll see where I'm at in like 5 years. Like, can we imagine 10 years? And it's just the fact that I like am saying that I'm going to be alive for that is pretty cool. Yeah. So, yeah. Cool. Yeah. That's it. I think we'll end that on a happy note, you know?
Yeah. So let's get into an ad and then we'll do some questions.
So this episode of Coffee with Crachel is brought to you by AdamandEve.com, which is a sex toy and all things pleasure website, if you will.
As always, we have a great deal for you guys. If you use code CWC on AdamandEve.com, you get 50% off of just about any item, free shipping, 3 free adult DVDs, and a free mystery gift. So again, just go to AdamandEve.com and use code CWC to get that offer.
All right, so let's start off with Patreon questions from patreon.com/coffeewithcrachel from the lovely people who help support the show.
Yes.
And first one's from Keisha, who said, hey guys, I want to ask your advice or opinions on the situation I've had. Me and my boyfriend have lived together for 4 years, and he knows how much I love cats and want to be able to have a furry friend of my own. A few months ago, the possible opportunity to adopt a kitten from a friend came up. I told my boyfriend about it, and he immediately said no. Even while trying to persuade him, he wasn't budging much. Although I know it won't be the end of the world if I never own a cat, I still worry that maybe I won't ever have one because my boyfriend just doesn't like them for unknown reasons. I guess I'm just not sure how I should handle this if it comes up again.
Is he allergic?
Yeah, I'm assuming not, because I'm assuming he wouldn't have said yes ever if he was allergic. So, I mean, in this situation, I'd say, like,
I would have to just be honest and be like, have a conversation where you're just admitting that it is a dream of yours to have a cat and that you don't want to be, you know, prevented from doing that unless like
there's gonna be
there's kind of an explanation.
There's gonna be a little bit of resentment if it's just like no explanation, but no, I can't have a cat. Yeah. Like, I can understand that.
Maybe you could just gently ask, like, you know, hey, like we talked about, you know, maybe adopting a cat the other day and you kind of turned me down. Do you have any, like, can you explain, like, not explain, what's the word I'm looking for? Like, maybe just like, would you mind like telling me a little bit of your hesitations or whatever? Like, you know, and like maybe it's just like money or safety or time or like space, or there's so many, you know, reasons to debate getting a new pet. So, I mean, that's the way I would approach it, like just kind of like
and if it comes
nudging
down to
that
like,
conversation.
If it comes to like him still having like a hard no, like it's a choice that you have to make in between whether like if it's going to be like a really like impactful thing that you don't own a cat, which I totally understand.
I kind of get it. Like any pet though. Like
I get that. Like if it's something like that's not something small. Like that's something that you, if you really want that, you really do, and you kind of have to make the choice of like, you know.
But then
it's picking essentially the relationship or having a pet, which is shitty to say, but you know
I would express be like, I just don't want to end up like resenting you, so I just want to know like what your feelings are on why we shouldn't have a cat, and then we could maybe make like a pro-con list, a classic Rory Gilmore.
Honestly, we do that from time to time.
We do that all the time.
Yeah.
We probably did that when we got Lila. We were like, what's the cons? We're afraid that Squeezy's gonna hate her.
We're gonna get a furry turkey instead of meat turkey this year.
Yeah.
Because we got her on Thanksgiving.
Yeah, we did.
Next question is from Valerie. He said, hey guys, I wanted to know how you guys would deal with working jobs that you hate, that mentally and physically drain you, but it allows you to live the life you're living now. And if you quit said jobs, it's all you have experience-wise, so it would take you a long time to find another job in the field, and even longer to find a job that pays you as well as the one you currently have. So you get the situation.
It's like, I get it. It's like YouTube if YouTube had actually paid me well. You know what I mean? Like, would I have felt more urged to stay with doing something that I didn't
There
like
was a
doing?
point where it was, financially okay, especially, like the fact that
Before student loans.
It was-
BSO.
before unemployment.
True.
Yeah.
BU.
BU. Boo. So I would never, ever, ever suggest, putting yourself in a situation where, you literally are not going to have the money to,
afford, the things that you need to live and survive.
bare necessities.
Yeah. However, if it is possible to, what I would do in that situation and what I kind of did do in this situation, but I'm not the person to look to for a model of all this bullshit because both of my jobs were, more niche. I would say, if you can find a career to work on the side that is paying you enough to survive or whatever, and is something that, you hopefully enjoy or at least can tolerate a little bit more than what you're currently doing, and then continue to, try to look for a job in a field that you are interested in, because, I do think that it is important. I know there's a lot of people out there that think, a job is a job, and, it doesn't have to be where your happiness lies, and that's totally valid. I understand, the whole, checking out mentally at work and just getting your work done and then, coming home and having your hobbies and shit.
But it's definitely, I can say from
if it's affecting your mental health, I think it's worth to, look into.
Yeah, I can say from experience
different.
that, if you're working a job that you actively do not like,
and it's making it hard for you to get to work as well, which
and
can
do
impact
the work,
your financial status.
that is very, I know that, I probably had more of a temper, getting out of work when I was working at jobs that I did not like. And now the job that I'm working now, I enjoy it. Is it the job that I educated myself for and everything, or thought I was going to have? No, but I do enjoy it.
Yeah.
And so, when I go to work, I'm not, dreading it, and I get my work done, and I enjoy the work that I do. And so I definitely would say that, as long as you can
feasibly make that
feasibly
change.
Make it happen, and are okay with maybe giving up on some more lavish things, as you said in your question, for the ability I think taking care of yourself mentally and or physically, in terms of career,
is the most important
part of that. Yeah.
I mean, overall, it's going to be a risk either way. My advice would be, honestly, to either find something in the meantime that that you can lock down while you're looking for something that you think you would enjoy the most, or sticking it out while you still continue to look, but I know that's really difficult. So Either way, change is really good as long as you can do it. I think taking care of yourself mentally is should be everybody's top priority. But obviously everyone's situation is different. If you have kids and all this other stuff,
Yep, exactly.
It's it's a gray area, but.
And next question is Rachel still playing Animal Crossing?
Yes! Oh my god, my charger, it almost broke, so we had to order a new one on Amazon Prime. Yes, I am. I love it.
You're about to hit your 1 year mark of playing it.
I know, I feel like such a dork though. Everybody else has been playing it since launch, and I'm a flop.
Yeah.
I didn't have a DS until last year. I'm sad.
Okay, and the last one is, if you could be the best in the world at one thing, what would it be?
I don't know.
I'm going to say either cooking.
I was gonna say cooking.
Because I would say cooking because, then you can make incredible fucking foods. But also that's everything.
A useful skill?
It's a useful skill, but everything you ever make ever is going to be at the highest level of scrutiny. If it's known that you're the best in the world at being a fucking chef,
well, then nobody can drag you. It's not Ratatouille. I am the best.
Yeah, I would also say communication. The best in the world at communicating.
How would you get that?
I don't know how you would get that. That's my superpower. I can communicate
All right,
really
so
well.
I would say cooking or smelling.
Well, you already are the best in the world at smelling, because you could smell a fucking rotten cantaloupe from 3 rooms over, so.
Not even a rotten. I can just be she's ripe. Oh. She needs to be in the fridge.
She
in 2 to 3
ripened
days.
36 minutes ago.
Yeah,
Like,
time of death. 12:42.
it's really creepy, honestly. Like,
Sometimes I walk in and everything. I just know everything about a room. I scan it with my nose.
I want to know, like, is it like a genetic thing or like how it happens that like
I feel like it's probably from my PTSD. Like I had to know what the smells were.
like the senses developing. Like, do some people's senses develop like better than
Was
others?
it because
like,
they smoked through my pregnancy and while I was in the crib, like in the room?
That would be.
Is that what it is?
That
like,
would be an interesting.
I was trying to
side
smell
effect.
through the carcinogens. That's what it was. The secondhand smoke. I don't know. It's so dark.
Fuck.
Either way, I'd be into it though, because I would love to be able to like, I don't know, use it to good advantage. I'd be like one of those bomb sniffing dogs.
You could be.
I really could, honestly. They could
You
train
could
me.
be.
If they
like,
can train dogs to do that, I wonder if they can train humans.
You can be like an all-in-one detective package. Like, you're really good at like hunting for the clues.
I'm a
online,
good sleuth.
and like also you can sniff things out. So like you are the detective and the dog.
I could be sleuth with a salt tooth,
Please leave.
taking the streets by storm, salt and vins in my corner. I have no idea what I'm saying anymore at this point in the show.
I think that means we need to get the fuck out of here.
All right, well, thank you guys so much. We won't be here next week, but we will be back after that. So
yes, we'll
hopefully
probably have
this
a lot of
long-ass
things
episode was enough.
probably have a lot of shit to talk about. But
Oh, girl.
we'll have
so
done
much.
a lot of things.
We'll do every tourist attraction by then
I
because
guarantee
we're doing
you
that.
we start off at that episode with like we forget everything.
Oh my god. Well, no, we'll write it down. You know, we'll keep a bulleted list. All right, binches, stay tuned. The rest of you fuckos, have a great next week.
Yeah.
And the rest of this week. And we'll see. Where the fuck is my cup?
I think the next episode will be in fall.
Wait, really? When's the solstice
22nd.
of September?
Yes.
Intrigue. I'm excited.
Okay, well, we'll see you guys in the fall.
Ew. Okay, bye.
Hey, we can't do this.
Nice paper smacks.
Paper smacks. All right, Beach Bunches, it's time to anagram your names again.
This is so fun for us.
Yeah, I'm pretty sure that all of these are different than any of you guys that were here for the first anagramming.
I hope. If it's
Yes.
the same, then that's just your God's given name, okay?
Then you can drag us.
All right, so starting off with Jackie Goldfarb, you are Jackal Bidfrog.
Valerie Molina is a livelier moan.
Emily Sweeney is Weensy Limey.
Melanie Weldon is Medallion Ween.
Alex Capraro is Area Locks Crap.
So
which
they're
is
talking
me.
about, actually, they're talking about the Atlantic Ocean where the area locks are crab.
Wow.
Shannon Chires is Harsh Nine Suns.
Alicia McKee is Make an Icicle. Make a icicle, excuse me.
Yes,
Try to be
grammatically
grammatically
incorrect.
correct.
Kimberly Proza is Blaze My Pork.
Wow. Sarah Booth is Arash Booth.
Taylor Collins is Silly Colorant.
Me when I'm reading the ingredients on food. Emma Corbeil is Cable Memoir.
Angelica Feliz is Facial Eel Zing.
Haley Welsh is Hey Sly Whale.
Katie Kelly is Kale Ye Kilt.
That is the old proverb. Ishmael Menez is Blemished Zen.
Stephanie Lee is Inhale Teepees.
Jane Thompson is A Postman John.
Amanda McKnight is Matchmaking Dan. So we got John and Dan here.
There's a lot happening. Chloe Fallon-Malewin is Foul Nuclei Home.
Kayla Bean is a blank yeah.
Brandy Robbins is Bird Brain Snob. Me.
Megan McNally is Clammy Angle.
Michelle Cox is Cliche Oxelm.
Rebecca Mack is Became Crack.
That's an achievement. Joanna Jensen is John's Gene.
Leslie Wright is Sly Wheel Grit.
Alexandria Taylor is Relaxation Lord.
Renee Medina is And Eerie Men.
That's everyone. Gwen Stowe is Gown Stew.
Sloan Fuller is Solon Loafer.
Kat Schultz is Cash Klutz.
Kim Greeley is Geeky Limer.
Jason Gonzalez is Sleazy Zoning.
Lindsay Torlina is Disloyal Intern.
Jess Adams is Sassed Jam.
Megan Oxley is an Oxygen Mule.
Daisy Blossom Dottie is Did Sassy Lobotomy.
Kennedy Rochelle is Hackle Ye Lender.
M. Simek is Sick Meme.
With two
Sick
C's.
is spelled S-I-C-C.
Rebecca Edmondson is bookends herd men.
Taryn Parker is artery prank. That sounds bad.
Lucy is eye clue.
Bailey Lynn is ya belly in.
Emily Tormey is my timely row.
Sonia Vaz-Brune is nervous bonsai.
Sabrina Hughes is brushing Shay.
Fiona is A-info.
Stephanie Oliver is vile earphones.
Juanita Cara is carrot in a jar.
But it's carrot like the jewelry carrot.
Yeah, bitch.
Annie Wynn is an eyeing nun.
Cassandra Lee is lesser Canada.
That's America. Courtney Hall is hotly nuclear.
That's all of us soon. Angela Sue is sun algae.
Aaron Bray is brain rye.
Jada Goshi is a shoe jig.
My Elizabeth is a Hamlet jibes.
Avery Labelson is anally observed, which definitely was what you were last time, but
It was anally verbose the last time.
Oh, it was. Well, now you're observing anal.
Anthony Hood is handy hoot.
Mariah Hanna is haha Rain Man. Everyone else's reaction to that film. No, I'm just kidding.
Liz Holbrook is bozo krill.
Madison Greer is agreed minors.
Megan Preyes is manage rasp.
Corey Springfield is reinforced lips.
You with your lip balm on.
I also am managing my rasp all the time.
Jackson Who is wood jar hoax.
Bridget Carey Davis is arid brag directives.
Sophia Cock is ice cap shook.
That is Antarctica right now, to be real. Ash Roselle is real slosh.
Beth Fonseca is beach fonts.
Kendall Berg is blank agreed.
Megan Grilly is Argyle mingle.
Chloe Ireland is ironclad heel.
Haley Cadwalder is clear-headed way.
Camellia Malky is I kill Mama Ace.
Amanda Pete is manatee pad.
Caitlin Whalen is anally then new.
Lauren Chavon is overhaul canines.
Oh my god. Dana Daly is high anal dandy. What the fuck?
Claire Wood is cordial woe.
You can tell this whole show is sponsored by anal. Anna Hernandez is arena hand zen.
Flynn and Drew are Vend Rye Land.
Mackenzie Knight is eczema night king.
And Rachel Evans is navel cheers.
Amazing. Well, cheers to our navels and our anals. And wow.
Everything else. And so the other Beach Bunches, we got Dana Marie Smith.
We got Brie Cram.
Ashley Riefenberger.
Mallory.
Allie Malone.
And Kathleen Wynn.
Well, that was something.
I love anagramming. I would do that every week if you guys allowed it.
It's like the Simlish, but with a little bit of sense.
Oh my god, it's been so long since we've Simlished. Maybe we should do that. Let us know. Give us a fucking comment on Reddit or SoundCloud, bitch.
Why don't you upvote on... We don't have anything to, like, fucking
Upvote?
vote on.
Upvote my ass.
So we will see you guys in 2 weeks.
Bye.
Bye.